trash. All right, now I'm starting. And you
Yep.
just need to make sure everything's good.
No swearing, none of that. Alright, careful.
Yep.
that bloody thumbnail.
Wait, did it work? The thumbnail?
Yeah, it's there.
Oh shit, we're live. I forgot.
You swore already,
Oh,
Adam.
it's alright. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright.
Actually, wait, my mic's actually good.
What is going on, guys? Welcome to the DougCast. Today we're going to be talking about the COD World War II launch and the state of Destiny 2 currently. So, yeah, we're just trying to connect to World War II, I guess, and I'm going to post this on Twitter.
On Twitter. Twitter.
Oh my god.
Alright, guys. We're just gonna join each other up. Gonna open a supply drop to start off the stream, and then we're gonna jump into a match to start our first topic.
Yep. So first of all, I'd just like to say thank you for joining in. Retro and Gamertron, thank you for joining in. The stream will not be up on the channel when it's done, because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to edit the podcast and then put it up on the channel later. So the stream is a one-time thing, but the podcast itself is not. Just wanted to let you know.
So pretty much the main basis of the podcast is to explain whether Destiny 2 or World War II, as you can see by the thumbnail, is trash.
Pretty much. So are you going to open your supply drop?
Alright guys, wish me some luck. I think we should open it over by the 1v1 area.
Alright.
Just because, you know, I'm top 5,000 in 1v1s, you know, let's just rep the boost.
Boost the
game
rev.
knows I'm good at 1v1. Yep. That's some hot trash for you guys.
Also, I'm not going to have game sound for World War II because I just think it's just going to be easier. I mean, I can add it in if you guys do want it, but just comment that and down below, and I probably won't have it in the game and the what's it called, in the edit anyway, but I'll probably just have it, you know, for the stream if you want. Yeah, I'm going to edit that and then upload it later. Do you want to jump into a game now or 1v1? Actually, no, I think we should 1v1 later and talk about that.
Adam.
Yes.
PC crashed, so we'll just do this till my PC turns up, alright?
Alright, let's just... Why don't we just go back? Why don't we just play a match?
Yeah. And of course my computer would crash in the middle of the stream.
That's actually hilarious.
Yeah, it took off 5 hours and we just crashed now.
I need to actually go get a new order.
Yes, orders too.
Should we start talking about it now?
Wait for my computer to turn on. We'll just do some jumping jacks here. And then once my computer turns on, we'll start our topics.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Anyways, what's good? How's your day been going, stream?
Yeah, how's everything been going so far? Actually, you know what? Let's open a supply drop. I got a supply drop.
Hold on, let me watch this.
I got 2, so let's just open them here.
You're gonna end up like me, get 2 heroics.
Oh,
what's that
I'm going
for?
to
The
play
M1
something. Probably just check the stream just said. Oh, cool. You don't have to watch it if you don't want to. I mean, it's going to be edited and uploaded anyway. But thanks for tuning in anyway. Ooh, I actually didn't get that bad of like things. Not gonna lie.
Once in your life.
Yeah, I know. Got my triple common grips before. That was pretty dank. Do you guys want the game sound for World War II? Because I can chuck that in.
Guys want the gang time for Call of Duty? Turn music off. Turn music off straight away.
Oh, is the music in the game copyrighted?
Maybe.
Alright, I disabled it. Alright, well, I'm just gonna have the guns. I'll just put it in the background. If you guys don't want it, then just tell me. It's not gonna be in the edited version. Because, yeah, I don't think it needs to be.
To outline the topics, pretty much our topic is going to be just overall talking about the launch of World War II, then the like the lag and stuff in the game, then just the game's overall quality, and then talking about weapon balance and all that. But then after we talk about finish the World War II section, we're going to talk about Destiny 2 and its current and where it's heading currently.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So actually, you just gave me a good idea. What I'm going to try and do, what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to edit the description, and I'm going to put the how it's going to go about in the description below. Actually, that's a pretty good idea.
Have you got your podcast mic on?
I do. I do like the way it sounds though. Destiny, where it is at and where it is heading.
Destiny 2 is heading in an interesting direction too.
Yeah, I can't wait to talk about that. That's going to be a pretty interesting topic, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Alright. I'll save that. So if you guys want to know what we're talking about, just check the description below. It shows it there. We might add some things in as we go along. And yeah, my microphone is buzzing, did you say?
I'll check. I don't know, you check, because I'm trying to get on my computer.
Right. Oh wow, it actually is.
Is it really? Who said your microphone was buzzing? Just set it back to normal. Set it back to normal. Just set it back to how it usually would be. Alright, I'm almost back on. Is your microphone fixed, Adam? And we're back to some Fortnite.
Alright, so hopefully that fixed it. If it didn't, shit, I really apologize. Because I was actually talking quite a lot before I started buzzing, which sucks.
Was it really, how bad is it? You can't even hear?
No, you could hear me. It was just really bad. I don't know why.
But it was fine before, that's weird. It's alright, Adam. This is our first time, right? First time.
It is our first
Shit
time.
I never said anything.
Yeah, man.
Gonna put you back, gonna put me back.
Yeah, the boys. Look. Are we back?
Right,
Oh, there we are.
we're back. We're back.
Is your stream mic on?
No, I'm putting that on right now. Alright, it should be on now.
Yeah, they are. Jesus.
Okay. Oh, that was a rough start. So, pretty much for pretty much anyone that joined in, sorry about that. So, what we're going to be doing in the stream, I'm just going to go over it again. We're going to talk about World War II, its launch and the lag of it, how the servers are being, the overall quality of the game, and then the weapon balancing, because that's something we really need to address. And then what we're also going to do is talk about Destiny 2, of its current state, and then where we think it's going to be in the future. So yeah, also thank you guys for the likes. That I was really did not expect that. So there's not going to be any Elgato sound, because I do believe that was what was creating the big issue. So I will fix that for the next stream, but yeah, I'm sorry, it is the first time. That will not be here in the edited version, just letting you know. So yeah.
Alright, let's get started. So just chuck us into a match and we'll start with our first
Alright,
topic.
let's chuck into a match. Wait, which match? What do you want to do? I need to put on airborne.
TDM's fine. TDM's fine. Alright, so should we address our first topic now?
Yes, we should definitely address our first topic.
So the first topic is the overall launch of World War II. And it has been, without a doubt, the worst Call of Duty launch of all time. Now, I see people like on YouTube and shit. They're like, sorry, but they're saying, "Oh, Black Ops 1, or and all that." When people used to like play at launches, this happened. Everyone in the community is just overreacting because the past 2 years, no one's been playing the CODs when they release. There's no way to justify the fact that this was a terrible launch.
Yeah, this was horrible.
Like, the game has been out for over a week, and I'm still experiencing the issues I've experienced at launch, and it's just not going anywhere currently, and it's really sad that this has happened.
Yeah, on launch, I played the game and I got a bunch of error codes. I was talking to one of the Activision representatives, and they were like, "Oh, we're addressing the issue. We're fixing it. It's fine." Still, 3 days later, the problem was not fixed. And then I contacted again about the supply drop issue, and if we're getting our supply drops back. Looks like we don't get our supply drops back if it opens up and it just disappears completely. You can lose supply drops from leveling up as well. So say you get, say you level to level 10, like for me, I didn't get my level 10 supply drop. I got pretty much nothing. I didn't get it at all. And then some people have reported that when they've gotten to level 40, they haven't gotten their supply drop either. So they're not fixing that. And that's been there since day one. And for a good 6 hours, you couldn't play the game at launch, and that was really frustrating for a lot of people. Oh my god.
To this, yeah, to World War II, the last topic has to be zombies. It just that's gonna be the last topic because I need to address that personally. But either way, to continue the whole launch factor, my experience with launch, I haven't experienced. How do I explain? I haven't experienced any error codes or anything, but my experience leads us very well into the next topic because although I haven't experienced any error codes, I haven't experienced anything wrong. My game is literally the epitome of unplayable. Like, I cannot play the game unless someone else was host, because I'll look for a match, it'll say 50 matches waiting. I won't find a match, because the other day I could find a match and I'd get into a match, but when I get into a match, everyone would be like so laggy that it would be unplayable. And now I can't even get into a match unless I'm with your boy Mr. Bloody Warm Wolf.
Okay, so oh my god, I really want to address the next topic, but I think we have to stay on this one for a while, because something that's really, really frustrating is actually the headquarters. So headquarters has been a freaking pain in the butt, and I think that, like, I don't know why, but like the headquarters, you're meant to load into oh wow, I actually got disconnected. I'm gonna do an internet test. You actually get logged into a headquarters match on your own when you're meant to be logged in with like quite a lot of people. Now, you can join a friend's session or a buddy's thing and just build off that, but it just ruins the whole headquarters feel, because you're meant to join into a headquarters match with, say, like 30 odd people, and you're meant to like 1v1 people, you're meant to challenge them into a shootout, you're meant to gain experience from commending them. You can only commend them once, but you're supposed to be able to just join into a headquarters match with so many other people, but you're actually joined in there by yourself, and that's what's causing a lot of the supply drop issues, and a lot of the things regarding headquarters. So like if your supply drops aren't working, or if you're just getting like a ton of lag in headquarters, that can also like lead you to a bad match in like overall, instead of just headquarters itself.
That in a way affects a lot of people, because the majority of the community actually cannot get into headquarters with anyone. But, you know, like if you watch someone in headquarters, like we're level 3, like I would assume you're level 3 as well, social rank, right? Adam?
I'm not sure.
I know I'm level 3, and I've only ever once been in a public headquarters match, and that's because I joined someone else. And it really puts us players at a disadvantage, because you get like supply drops and stuff for leveling up. You get like better loot and all that. And when we are not able to do that because the servers are restricting us and have been restricting us for over a week, it's just ridiculous. Because like if you think about it, the servers as they are absolutely terrible. And if headquarters opened up to the public, like anyone can be in anyone's server, and then that just puts even more pressure on the servers. I don't know what to think about that. I don't know if the whole social ranking thing's even a good idea to begin with, if you're talking about like servers in general. They need to fix their servers. They need to buy more servers.
My PS4. Yeah, with that issue, I just want to say, the social rank, it does affect your supply drop luck, quote unquote luck, with the supply drops, and it's supposed to level you up faster. So you're meant to play with other players, watch them open up supply drops yourself with other people watching you, and you can't do that, because you can only have like a maximum of your friends list pretty much, or whoever you want, who are actually your actual friends, but like you can only commend them once, and there's only a certain amount of people online that actually want to join you and want to watch you open supply drops and play with you and stuff. But like a week later, and they still haven't completely fixed this, is pretty like insane. Like at launch, some YouTubers were able to play with others. Like I know Holo and T Martin, they were in a group with like a bunch of people in their headquarters match. And now if you go ahead and take a look, they're opening up supply drops, and they're not getting anything better because there's no one in their headquarters lobby, and there's also they're not in a lobby with anyone else, and that's causing them, one, a lot of money, because they're opening up supply drops and losing half of them, and then two, it's like causing them a lot of content because they can't really get content for the headquarters match without there being like quite a lot of people, and you can't get quite a lot of people in there unless you do an open lobby per se. But then what does that get you? You're just getting in there with a bunch of people that are just going to completely spam you.
Yeah, and to lead supply drops into another matter that I do think is very important is the whole quest/quartermaster. So, in my opinion, the whole if I went into a game and say got 25 kills, right, I would not want to do 25 kills for 20 minutes of weapon double XP. That is ridiculous. I'm okay with getting that from supply drops, but when I do a challenge, let's not go to bounties just yet from the quartermaster. But when I do a challenge, I expect either salvage, I really like that system, or supply drop. Now, let's address salvage straight on. If we're talking about salvage, I do not think the big reward for earning a collection should be an epic. I do think it should be a heroic. Now, what that heroic is, like, I don't care, but I don't think it should be an epic because you can spend over 10,000 salvage, which if you don't know, that will take a very long time to get on one of these just for an epic. When you could buy an epic of the same, like, looks and everything, which look trash for the same price. And the quartermaster sells contracts, which you can buy for a lot of these salvage tokens, which is really cool. But how are you supposed to get 35 kills in team deathmatch in 10 minutes?
Exactly.
You'll have to literally be so god at the game.
Exactly. It just that's pretty much you only get one chance as well. And like the quartermaster thing, your challenges as well, they ask you to do some things like commend 10 players. So that means you need actually 10 people in your thing. You can't just do it over and over again with one person because it's a one-time commend. And with the quartermaster, you can buy the things you get in supply drops for, say, a lot less, I guess you could say. But then there's the orders, which we can get into when you're ready. But this quartermaster thing, it's a good thing. Like, I like the salvage point of things where you can buy your camos and your what's it called, pretty much your gear, I guess you could say, by just using salvage, which you do get from those orders and from the quartermaster, but you're spending a lot more for what you're getting. It's not really worth it.
And to, like, ultimately point the finger at epics in general, like epic rarity weapons, they are absolutely trash for their drop rate. They're pretty much the non-finished versions of the heroic, in that is pretty sloppy from Sledgehammer, in my opinion. I don't think they should just have the same thing, but one looks trash,
Yeah, something they've done with Launch and still haven't done a week later is the textures for the heroic and the epic variants. So pretty much, if you go, I'll show you guys a prime example when I load in the game, and I'll also tell you guys about it for when this gets edited and uploaded as well. Something is the textures for it. So when you go to your creator class and you pick your weapon, it shows your little image there. So it'll be some really high quality, like metallic, like finished weapon. And then you get in and you actually use the weapon yourself. It actually does not look that good. It's all rusted. It looks like it's just been thrown in the trash. It does not look good at all. And I'll show you guys a prime example right now. So if I show you guys here, this gun, it looks pretty clean, pretty pristine and wooden, like with a wooden finish in this, in the picture here. But if we go ahead and go to the firing range, you can see here that it's actually coated in rust. It's full coated in rust. The wood, it looks very chipped and does not look good at all. It looks like it's been thrown in the mud, and it does not look as good as it should in the picture, which you're paying pretty much like for like 3,000 like 3,000 odd salvage to get.
You can pay up to 8,900.
You can. Whoa! I actually didn't even know that you can pay up to 8,000 to get these these. Well, I don't know how to explain it. These epic variants, which pretty much just give you like a bit extra percentage, of XP, but at the same time, it does not look as good. So if I go ahead and show you guys, one here, a midnight. So this one you need to unlock 7 things. So what's that? 2 commons, 3 rares, and stuff like that. I don't know, stuff like that. You can buy them pretty much. So 8,900. Here we go. So this is more than 8,900 because you have to add all this up. So it's around 10,000 salvage. And you get this weapon here. So you get a zombie perk, which, precision, I'm guessing that just gives you more money when, like, you get a precision kill, and you get 10% more XP. Now, this weapon, it doesn't look that nice. I mean, it looks okay, but it's still got a bit of mud on it. The preview looks nice, though. So you'd be paying for the preview, but you'd actually be getting complete trash, which is something they could have fixed, because I know they've got the textures for it, and they can just remove the mud texture, surely. But they could have fixed this by launch, and it would have been just way better.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like, it's very hard to explain. It's just, the game has a lot going for it, and it's got a lot wrong with it too. But the things that are wrong with it can be fixed pretty easily. I just don't know what Sledgehammer would have been thinking about when they thought these guys have 10 minutes to get 35 kills, and they have to pay, what, 100 and something salvage for that? That's ludicrous. It's really dumb. Now, this guy over here, the Major Howard, this is a very good system. It works really well. I really like it. It's just that when you can get XP instead of supply drops and salvage, it takes a lot out of the game, because believe it or not, it's extremely hard to get supply drops in the game. It is really hard to get supply drops in this game.
Yeah, it is.
And it's just really hard to earn salvage as well, because you can only earn it from that and your payroll and your daily login. So it's overall extremely difficult to get the things, the currencies, and all the cool stuff in the game, because the game doesn't have much to offer in that sort of segment.
Yeah, so it may sound like we're talking a lot of crap on the game. It's just the launch and pretty much the quartermaster. I mean, it's a good concept. It's just not portrayed well. I really like what they're doing with the orders, though, because something they should do is probably just add a bit more, like, maybe a bit more orders to get supply drops from, because, like, the XP is nice. I really like how you get more XP from them, and the credits is cool because you can still, as I said, buy the weapons. But getting the supply drops is really tough in this game. Like, the chance of getting one after a match is really, really low. And you get one, from my experience, level 10, I think level 15 or 30 or something,
Yeah,
but I
15.
did get one. Yeah, so level 10, level 15. You get one at level 30, I believe, and then one at level 40. But you can get them
I think it's safe to say every 5 to 10 levels.
Yeah, because it's not always 5 to 10, because I know from level 20 I didn't get one, but that could have just been me. But it is, I like the concept that they're going with the Major Howard thing, and the payroll is nice. It's like you get 100 credits every, 3 hours or so. But
I think that should be up to 250 though.
Yeah, I think they should definitely upgrade give that a bit more, like, I don't know, credits, because you're waiting like 3 to 4 hours or something to get 100 credits, and it doesn't stack up as well. So if you miss your 3 hours and like you come back the next day, you don't get like more. You don't get more credits. You just get more. You just get the exact same. You just get 100, which I think they should definitely up that. But
yeah, I think they should stack.
Yeah, they should stack. A prime example of what Declan was trying to say before: 35 kills in team deathmatch right here on the screen. You get a rare supply drop, which is pretty cool, but you only get 10 minutes, and 10 minutes is usually around about
One game.
maybe one game, if so, maybe a game and a half. But you get that's 35 kills. Usually with these 35 kills one, it's usually in one go. I mean, I don't know how the quartermaster works with that, but you only get 10 minutes to complete this. Now, I don't know if you can rebuy this and maybe get another try, but then you're spending 500 credits to get one resupply drop. And it's the same in Domination. Domination's a bit easier though, but you only get 10 minutes, and usually they go on for about 15 minutes. The Domination games, even 20 sometimes. So I think they should definitely either up the times or decrease the amount of kills you need to get.
And 35 kills, if you haven't actually played COD World War II, in COD World War II, 35 kills is a lot of kills compared to other Call of Duties. This is a lot.
And it's, I mean, I'm not saying this because I'm, bad or good or something, but 35 kills is quite the challenge. I mean, you can hit it if you're really, really trying, and if you just full try hard it, you could probably hit it really well. But the game goes so fast, and at the same time, it's really tough. Especially with something we're going to talk about later, the weapon balancing. It's really tough to get those 35 kills. But you can also get it at the same time. But it's just, I don't know if for one resupply drop, spending 225 credits is quite a lot, because that's 6 hours, roughly 6 hours, and a payroll, or roughly 6 to 9 hours, or depending on how many orders you get.
Yeah. Do you want to start another game real quick?
Yep, let's jump into a game. We've been in here for quite a while.
And I reckon we should jump into the next topic, because we've been on this topic for a bit.
Yeah, we have been on this topic for quite a while.
So let's talk about the topic of lag. LAG in World War II. World War II,
really annoying.
I know that Adam doesn't really experience lag in Call of Duty, but I am very experienced in lag. All right, I get it a lot. I haven't even told you what I picked up from COD. This new COD, your ping, it counts for a lot. It is a lot of the game, because when I was on 3 bars on Black Ops 3, yeah, I know my internet's trash, but it didn't make much of a difference. I couldn't really notice much. This, I know I've been playing 1 bar quite a lot, but when it's good and it's on 2 bar, I'm still at a very big disadvantage to everyone, considering the fact that my internet's not even that bad. Because when I played what would usually be considered a 3 bar, I feel like I didn't have as much flow and consistency as everyone else did, and it really, it's really putting you off, and it's really delayed, because I'll shoot and they'll just have the overall advantage on me, because if they shoot at the same time, they'll win the gunfight, because my hits don't register like theirs. Half my hits will register, and that's really bad, because that makes the game a lot harder for me, because I can't actually just go out and get new internet.
Yeah, that is something I do want to address. I mean, as Declan said, I don't experience lag too much in COD. I'm not saying my internet's the best, but I'm just saying I don't experience it too much. But with this Call of Duty, and like Declan said, the lag doesn't just impact on you're stuttering or stuff like that. It impacts on whether your hits register, whether you need extended mags, or whether you need rapid fire, or whether you need these certain attachments, because it takes longer to kill someone. Say someone with the same internet as you, but for some reason the servers are just really messed up, or the host, example, we need to say this, the host, for example, has a bad internet connection, and I've got the same as Declan, and say we're in a gunfight, he might win because his hits might register more than mine do. and that really is really bad for COD actually, because in a Call of Duty game where it's usually fast paced or there's a lot of action going on, if your hits do not register, you're not going to get the kill. That can pretty much be whether you get the streak or you don't, whether you get your 35 kills in team deathmatch or not. And it really impacts the game and its performance.
I am going to one of these days record you a gameplay, right? Because it's so hard for you to experience this. I am currently on an average 3 bar for normal Call of Duty, right? And that would usually be fine. I would have no problem. But I don't know, the first gunfight me and you just got into this game, right? I hit 2 out of 3 shots and I didn't get a single hit marker.
Yeah.
I'm not idiot. I'm not an idiot. I know when I do and do not hit a shot. It's just the hit registrations and the lag is really affects the gameplay now. It affects the game, which is really bad for a game like COD because it's so big. It's such a big game, and like they can't just expect everyone to have internet that can run so well. It's like to put it more simply, I have a PC and Adam has a PC. My PC's trash, runs the game like 15 frames, and Adam runs at 144 frames. He has such an advantage over me that it is game changing. It is really game changing, and that's what I'm feeling right now.
Yeah, and I think it takes to account with the launch of COD. I didn't want to say this before because it's not as big of a launch as lag, I think, but it plays a part in both of them. So for the launch of COD, we had dedicated servers, which I don't think Call of Duty has seen yet, dedicated servers, which was a nice touch because then the internet's all on their part. Well, the game's on their part, and then whether we lag or not, that's on our internet. But what they've done is, since the game or the servers couldn't hold up with the amount of people, or I don't know what the reason is, but what they've done is they've put it back to what it is. There's a random host, and the game is based on their internet. So say if Declan was host, all right, and he was, say, he's 2-barring, pretty much anyone in the lobby would then 2-bar, and usually the host would get an advantage, or people around the host, usually located around the host, would get a better advantage, would get more of an advantage, so that their hits would register more, and that they'd get pretty much more kills or less deaths, I guess you could say, due to the hits actually working and actually registering. But that also means that more people are going to lag, so more people aren't going to be able to get kills or aren't going to be able to actually play the game. So it'll feel like you're playing at a lower frame rate, but you're actually not. It's pretty much just it's pretty much the internet of the host. So whether you're running Google Fiber as well, or whatever it's called, freaking America has it, and whether you're running that or not, if I'm hosting and I've got really bad internet, you're gonna feel that as well. You're gonna get a piece of my bad internet, which I think, although that's always been the case with COD, the fact that this COD launched with dedicated servers and have swapped back to its original route is just not professional.
Yeah, because they surely could have seen that this COD's launch would have been massive, and they should have been able to prepare for that, which obviously they have not done well at all. Like, with their servers they could have prepared for it, but they never did. Like, this launch could have gone so much smoother than it did, because Activision obviously knew, because they knew their pre-orders, and their pre-orders were everything. Because not many people have bought the game after the pre-orders. But it's massive, because all the old people are coming back for some more. And they knew that. I just don't understand why they didn't do anything about it. Until now, until everyone's complaining. because now it just makes their game look a lot worse than it could be.
Exactly, and
Is
with
this where we
with what you just said, how they're only taking it into account now. The patch that they released yesterday. Now, I was going to make a video on this, but I couldn't because of my capture card. But the patch they released yesterday actually made it worse in a sense because you couldn't find a game. You'd get into in a pre-game lobby and it'd say like 5 out of 12 people. Then it'd slowly gradually get up to 12, and then you just sit there, and you wouldn't load into a game. You just sit there. And then people would leave, and you never join a game, and then you try and like restart your game, and it'd just be black screen, or you'd be stuck in headquarters, or you'd be stuck, or you'd just be stuck trying to find a game, but it won't work. It'd say like a 50 odd games found, and then you'd just never join one. It's just I don't know how to explain it. Just unprofessional.
Yeah, but all the bad stuff aside, I think we should just talk about the game's quality.
Yeah, I think we should, because this game, it does have a lot going for it. Like, although the launch may have not been smooth, and like the lag may have not been fixed, or it may not have been as consistent as it should be, the game has a lot going for it still.
It does. Like me me personally, for the last few CODs, I have done nothing but talk smack because I genuinely didn't enjoy the multiplayer, because I used to be big on multiplayer. I used to just play the games to try to get what I paid for, you know? I tried to get my money back. This game, like, even though all of this lag and stuff, I've actually been going through that. Instead of just giving up on it, I keep playing because I actually really like the game underneath. I really like the multiplayer of this game. It's really fun. It's just that it's a shame that there is lag, but the game in general is really fun. It's a really good game, and it has a lot of potential. Yeah,
it is. The multiplayer is really nice. Like, I loved Black Ops 3's multiplayer. I mean, it had some things that shouldn't have happened, or should have been fixed. I just got disconnected from the server, ironically. And Infinite Warfare's campaign, I mean, freaking holy shit. Infinite Warfare's multiplayer, oh my god, I just swore. Infinite Warfare's multiplayer, I mean, at first, in the beta, it was good. And, at the start, it was decent, but I mean, it's not something I'd go back and consistently play. I'd play if I was lagging, I'd not play through that at all. I don't think the multiplayer for that was as good. But this game, it actually has a lot. Like, in the multiplayer, I really like the side of where you can jump into headquarters, you can get your supply drops, you can play with other people in headquarters, and even despite the lag in the actual games, most of the maps, they're really nice. I really like the maps in this game. There are a few that, need some fixing.
There's three that are really bad, but the rest of them are really good.
Those three that really need something. But the maps they've got, they're really good. I'd play through the lag because the maps are nice. The guns, they feel nice. I don't know if it's just the nostalgia or just how the guns feel themselves, but they feel like really good. They feel like they deserve to be in the COD.
It feels like the game for the first time in a fair few years, a very long time. The game has finally felt fluent instead of just feeling really like, I don't know what the word is, clunky, really weird feeling. Like, even Black Ops 3 wasn't fluent. Black Ops 3 was not fluent. Black Ops 3 was good, but it wasn't perfect, you know? The multiplayer had things wrong with it. Infinite Warfare, the multiplayer for that, let's just say, to put my opinion on it, I'm higher level in World War II than I am in Infinite Warfare. And Advanced Warfare, I didn't mind, but COD Ghosts wasn't that great either. The multiplayers have all been non-fluent. There's always been a big issue in them that always screws them over. COD Ghosts, it was too complex with the perks and all of that. That was really complex. Advanced Warfare, no one really liked the whole variant supply drops. Black Ops 3, the biggest problem was the new weapons that came out and made the game really pay to win, and that really sucked. And Infinite Warfare, that whole game was trash. But this one, there is really nothing wrong with it except for its servers and all that. But there is something wrong with it right now, but we will talk to that in the next subject.
Yeah. So I think we should go and say the campaign. I mean, I haven't played it personally, but I've heard it's really good. So I think you should probably talk about the campaign because you played it. So
the campaign, it was like it was the only campaign probably ever, and I've played almost every COD's campaign that I actually paid attention to. Now, that's my opinion. A lot of people will pay attention to other campaigns. I never really cared about them. But this one, like, really, gets you because it is in World War II and it is, it is real and it really does show that because you'll be running through and a grenade will go off and you'll look down and your friend will, like, ask for help and his legs will be blown off and you'll need to help him to cover and all that. And it's really, like, you're in the moment. You can see that your character's, like, in shock, freaking out because of where he is at the time. But a lot of people have been saying that the campaign's unrealistic and all that. There's no, swastikas. There's no Holocaust. They are. I don't think they'd do that just because it's highly offensive and all that. But the campaign nonetheless wouldn't have needed that to make it any better because it's still a really good campaign.
Yeah, I'm going to play the campaign. I will play the campaign. I'm gonna leave your thing because it's not. I don't know. It's not letting me do anything. Just join me. Okay. So also, I will be playing the campaign and I will be doing my own review of it. But it's just I have not played a campaign for a COD, and I've not been recommended. I played a bit of Ghosts, played some Advanced Warfare. Black Ops 3's campaign was really bad. Some people say Infinite Warfare's was pretty good. It's just no one had recommended me to play it. This COD, though, people have recommended me to play the COD, and I think the amount of people that have said to play the campaign or just tweet it out, oh, this campaign is really good. I think just the fact that a single player for a Call of Duty game that has been this good is pretty, especially in this day and age where everyone's like, oh, just keep it what it was, or just I like the futuristic style, or I don't like the futuristic style. Just the fact that this COD has a good campaign and a good multiplayer and a zombies, which we will get into later, is pretty good. Like, this game has a lot going for it right now, and especially for people that don't have internet or the servers have just been screwing up for them, they can just go back and play the campaign and enjoy it. Have something to, like, enjoy while, I don't know, Activision fix the servers or whatnot. But yeah, I think that's just really good that they have such an immersive campaign. I've heard, like, even you just described it like being really immersive. So I think that's just really nice for COD.
Yeah. It's the first time I've really found it that immersive because usually CODs aren't, like, it's okay to not be realistic, but usually they aren't historically accurate and historically in some sort of time frame that is really recognizable to a wider audience. World War II, almost everyone knows about, and everything that you do in the campaign is pretty well recognized. And if you are decently educated, you will know, like, where you are, and it's really cool to know that you are, like, to know what's going on instead of just being somewhere where, like, oh, I have to get Captain Price or something,
Yeah. And with
some made up fictional character.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, you can't expect the COD to have things like the Holocaust or, like, swastikas in there because of certain countries, and just certain people's religions. Like, I mean, some people restrict buying COD as in their religion, but say you have COD and like a good percentage of people that buy the game and find it really offensive, or find that their culture or something is being, I don't know how to say it, offended in the game, and from a wide variety of people. Like some developers' religions might conflict with some things that could be in the game, so like that's why they've put aside things that you might find were in obviously a part of history, but maybe a part of like the war, but you can't have it in the game because of certain restrictions, and you can't just you can't say that the game is trash because of that. It's just something that I guess you have to accept, but that doesn't make the game bad. Yeah, adding these things won't make the game better. It's just, I don't know. It's just things
historically accurate.
Yeah.
But to put things straight, the Holocaust is in it, but it isn't properly. It's very hard to explain. It's in it. They don't reference it as the Holocaust. They don't reference anything as a concentration camp. They don't reference anything about it, and they don't just run in and shoot up a concentration camp. You will know what I mean. The Holocaust is in it, but it's not in it at the same time. You'll know what I mean once you play through the campaign. It's the last mission. That's why I don't want to spoil it.
Is it made obvious, though, that it is what it is?
It is made very obvious.
Okay.
It is made extremely obvious. You'll know. You'll sort of have suspicions sort of throughout the campaign, and you'll know why.
So I don't know. Something I may have said may have been a bit wrong, but I do apologize. But yeah. Wait, see if you can join me because I couldn't join you.
Yeah, it's alright. They never reference it as the Holocaust. That's all I'm saying. That's why people are saying, that they're just referencing them as a prisoner of war camp. That's it.
Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to put across. Is you might not be able to say what it is, or say what it is, but you can put it in there as a game. Now, One Retro asks, what is your opinion? With people saying that COD needs to change, but they don't not liking the change is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know if what you're trying to say is futuristic, or
I know what you mean.
Back to this. Because I don't know.
My response on that, because I've talked about this before. I'm really big on this subject of people wanting change and don't like the change. The good thing about the COD community is that we ask for change, which is really good because we know that the game is getting dry and all that. But when we get change and we don't like it is a really big subject, because it is really risky to change something that's already so great. And when they put in exosuits and stuff, it was good at first, but when it just gets done over and over and over again, it's just repetitive. And this is why probably World War II is a very good COD, because although it's back to boots on the ground and people would say that's repetitive, it doesn't actually feel like MW2 or MW3 World of War. It doesn't actually feel like that. It feels like its own standalone kind of thing. It feels like quote unquote change, and it's change that people like.
Yeah, and the thing is, we asked for a boots on the ground Call of Duty, and we asked pretty much for change, for it to go back to what it was, keep the score streaks simple and unique at the same time, and we asked for the guns to go back to being, nice, fluent, and really feeling really nice and nostalgic to use. The thing is, some people that have asked for this change have also regretted the change. So they're like, this Call of Duty is just repetitive. The guns are just pretty much in every other Call of Duty, and the score streaks are plain and boring. Now, I'm not saying the score streaks are plain and boring or any of that. It's just that people can't accept what they've asked for, and when that happens, then it gets everyone mixed up. It gets the community mixed up. It gets the developers mixed up on what they want to give out to the people. It pretty much mixes everything up and just ruins everything. Which if you ask for change and you don't like it, just accept it. Don't just make a big fuss about it because it's not worth it.
Yeah. And I think that when people give an opinion, they seem to base their opinion on really bandwagon, like hating on the exosuits. That was just bandwagon. Like, to be honest with you, not all exosuit games are bad, and they weren't. Advanced Warfare, I loved Advanced Warfare, and a lot of people hated it.
Here.
I loved Black Ops 3. I hated Infinite Warfare, but I loved Black Ops 3. It's just people really love to hate on that.
Yeah.
And it's really sad.
It is. It really is.
Because the game is really not that bad, but because everyone makes it seem bad, how to explain? Because it makes it seem bad, it makes it feel bad. And when YouTubers and stuff talk about it, they're all bandwagon too. So obviously some YouTubers aren't bandwagon and give their 100% honest opinion, which I really respect. But like, to point fingers, alright, Ali A, that's probably one of the biggest ones. He just bases his opinion on what everyone else says because he doesn't want to get, flamed by the community. Because I remember when Infinite Warfare came out, he was playing it and he's like, this game's sick. 2 weeks later, everyone hated it. And he's like, yeah, this game's trash. And he just like scrapped it completely. And it was like, you don't have to, not like the game just because everyone else doesn't like the game. You can like the game if you like the game. That's completely up to you. If you don't like the game, cool. That's, just don't play the game.
Exactly. So pretty much, if you're in the COD community and you base your opinion if you base your opinion on the game off someone else's opinion on the game, it just turns into a whole like snowball effect where people are just like loving the game but they're hating on it just for the sake of hating on it or sake of like attention or things like that. Like Call of Duty YouTubers, I'm not gonna I can say pretty much LEA did that with Infinite Warfare, and at first I liked Infinite Warfare. Like the beta was good, but the release of the game, it just wasn't that good. The guns were really bad. There was one that was really overpowered and consistently overpowered, and it just wasn't good. So I just didn't like it anymore. With the zombies for Infinite Warfare, Spaceland, at first liked it. It was kind of alright. Didn't like it anymore. It was really annoying. The thing with the aliens as well, that really annoyed me. And then Raven the Redwoods, Shall and Shuffle, they were good maps. I liked those maps. Attack of the Radioactive thing, I played that a few times. I do not like the map. The colors of that map is bad. Yeah, the map is very bad.
The last map in the Beast from Beyond?
Yeah, that I played a few times. I mean, it does bring back things from Ghosts, and I did like the extinction from Ghosts, but
that map felt like a big filler. That map didn't feel like a map. It never did feel like a map. I never cared about the map at all. Never once. Never even knew about it. Like, it was very hard to explain the situation. That map means nothing. That's the thing I hate. Because usually DLC 4 maps, they knock you out. They are really good maps. And that's the same thing with Revelations. But let's save zombies for the zombie section.
Yeah, let's do that. I think the quality of... I think we've pretty much based this game off a lot of the other games. So I think we've showed how pretty much good the game is. I think we should go to the next one, which definitely needs some talking about. The weapon balancing in this game. The weapon balancing in this game is, well, I'd say...
Touchy.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about of weapon balancing. I think you've got a pretty good grasp of this, actually.
I have very good grasp of this. So, right now, long story short, assault rifles just dominate. Nothing will beat an assault rifle. They will dominate anything. Snipers, shotguns, LMGs, submachine guns don't stand a chance. But, to put this in perspective,
that does not mean that I don't like the other things. Shotguns, I do think that both double-barreled shotguns need a buff. They both
Yep,
do. They both
definitely.
need a buff. The other two shotguns are really good. The position of the incendiary bullets is in a good position. I actually really like how they are playing out. Snipers, I'm very happy with how snipers are in this game, and I hope they do not nerf or anything, because this is the first time snipers have been this good in quite a long time.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, and not only that, but LMGs in this game, their reload times are way too long. They are
Yeah.
it takes way too long to reload an LMG. That really needs to be fixed. I'm not
Yeah,
saying there
and
should be like SMG reload.
you can say that, like, if you say, oh, you could just put on like one of the perks and boom, it reloads faster. No, it still reloads really slow. I mean, the LMGs, they have some power, but at the same time, you can
That
get
reload
overrun
speed is
by
horrible.
the STG.
Anything.
And the thing to take into account is if you're going on a streak and you're reloading and someone comes around or someone just walks in your line of sight while you're reloading, they're going to get the kill. Like, the chances of you reloading in time for someone that can pretty much see you or you can see is very, very slim.
But then that takes us on to Adam's touchy subject, the SMGs. The
Okay.
SMGs are
Yeah,
very
I'll
underpowered.
talk about my SMGs because I have a different opinion. Well, it's pretty much the same, but at the same time, I like SMGs. Now, I just want to quickly chuck in this question that Gamertron's asked. He asked, should I get World War II? Still debating it. Do you think it's worth the money? If you take into account all the good things we've said, like, despite all the launch,
I would give it a couple weeks.
Despite the launch and despite the servers and currently I can't find a game. This game it has got a lot going for it, and I suggest possibly waiting it out, seeing if you like it, seeing if these things that like these drawbacks actually hold you back from getting the game. But I think it's worth the money. I mean, I paid $100 for this, so I think it's worth the money. But at the moment, with all these server things, I'd definitely say wait.
Yeah, but let's go back to the SMGs. So, Adam, I personally, as a big SMG user in COD, would absolutely love these to be amazing. But the thing that an SMG does better, that is meant to do better than any other gun in the game, is its fire rate. And its fire rate for SMGs is just trash. Grease guns' fire rate is nothing. PPSH, good fire rate, but its damage output is terrible. Type 100, terrible fire rate, but very good damage. The WAF, it's got good fire rate, bad damage. The M1928, just don't even. Damage absolutely horrid. And the MP40, that would be a good gun, only if its range was a little higher. The thing is, to compare an SMG, Adam said to me before, it would be an unfair comparison, but that's just leading into my point. If it's unfair to compare an SMG to something, then it's unfair for SMGs to be this underpowered. Because if I compare an MP40 to an STG, if I have to compare an MP40 to an STG, STG should not be able to outgun an MP40 at close range. MP40 is an SMG. It should have a high fire range and kill it. But the STG will outgun any SMG at any range.
That is very true. I definitely think that's true, and I do take back what I said about the SMG's comparison and stuff like that. I do think is pretty unfair. So comparing the SMG to any gun is pretty much unfair because you can't really do that. But something I do want to say is either they nerf the assault rifles or they buff there's SMGs, or they just don't do any of those and just balance the game out, balance the balance both the SMGs, the assault rifle, balance all of the weapons to what they should be, because an STG should not be able to take out a PPSH or an MP40 at close range. Yeah, sure, medium to long range or medium ranges, it might have the upper hand, but in a close combat situation, it should not have the upper hand at all. Like, in order to pretty much put into perspective, if you want to outgun an STG at a close range, you'll probably have to either start shooting at him like really, really quick, or just like, or just put on like rapid fire or something, or shotgun him, because having like the STG as a it's such an overused and at the same time overpowered weapon that
if you
should
look
be
at it,
nerfed, but also should be balanced out.
if you look at it thoroughly, and like you said, should they balance it out over time? In my opinion, they should straight up nerf the rifles, then balance it out, because the game is so far out of balance right now. If you look at the top best weapons in the game, I can guarantee you all of them will be ARs. STG, FG42, the BAR, the bloody M1 Grand. They're all insanely good weapons, and they're all ARs. And the bloody M1941 probably has a higher fire rate than any of the SMGs.
That's true, and that weapon, it could be mistaken with an SMG. That weapon has like a short magazine, but for its fire rate, it has a short magazine, and it's an assault rifle, so it pretty much takes out the SMGs like an SMG should, but it's an assault rifle. So pretty much putting the SMGs, having an SMG class at the moment is not really relevant. I mean, the grease gun, its damage and fire rate at times can compensate for each other, but I seriously think it being an SMG, I think the assault rifles being what they are, like just extremely overpowered, is really bad. It's taking pretty much, I mean, it's taking the Infinite Warfare side of things, with the whole, like, gun is overpowered from beta and still overpowered today thing. The STG, I played the beta, was pretty overpowered, and it still stayed the same. But the SMGs, like the Type 100, I've used that throughout the game, like throughout the beta, throughout now. I personally like the Type 100, but it just doesn't stand a chance against the STG.
Yeah, it's just they are so far out of balance. I literally do not know if the devs play tested the game, because it is so obviously out of balance, especially when you get something like the bar, the most overpowered weapon in the game, is crazily overpowered. It will like 2-shot headshot with a really decent fire rate.
Yeah. Why can't we find a game?
Servers.
Quasi, he said he paid $140 for the game, so he probably got like the hard case or pre-ordered or season pass or something. But he said he doesn't have a problem with the servers, and he likes the Type 100 just like I do. I mean, I like the Type 100 and I like the PPSH just like you, but I definitely think that assault rifles are way more overpowered than both guns. And I don't know why I'm having so much problem with the servers right now.
Do you want us both restart the game?
Alright.
To answer that, Quasi, like I said, it all comes down to your personal preference. You can like the SMGs, that's fine. But from a factual standpoint, you might just be a better player. But from a factual standpoint, they are a lot worse than any assault rifle. Any SMG compared to any assault rifle is worse, except for the SVT or the M1A1. They're both the bad ones, but
yeah, they're
compared
really bad
to that, it will always outgun it. It will always outgun an SMG. But from there, like especially, I'm really upset about the PPSH because I really want PPSH to be really good, but it turns out to be not so great. Like it's all right, but it's not so great.
It's not as good as it was in the beta because it was pretty good in the beta. Like it was, I'm not saying it was better than STG, but it was close to being up to the STG standards. Oh god. But at the same time, it just doesn't feel like it was in the beta. The beta PPSH was good. You'd see that a lot with the STG. Now you barely see PPSHs. If so, they're running some crazy attachments that they don't even need. And that's just to keep up with things like the STG, because that is, you get that really early on in the game. And since it's been a week since launch and pretty much everyone is up to Prestige or about to Prestige, they've pretty much always got the STG on hand. And just the PPSH, you get that pretty early on as well, but it's just not as good as the STG. And like, just like you said here, he just said that the STG is probably the most OP gun. That is so true. It is the most OP gun in the game.
But
like, it's so overused.
You just wait, Causey, till next week. I reckon that next week this time everyone will have the bar, and you just wait till everyone is running around with a bar, and you'll know bloody how OP that thing is, because that thing will absolutely dominate this game until it's nerfed, and it will be nerfed to the ground. The next update, I will tell you right now, Sledgehammer will nerf the damage and it will be gone. That you'll never see the bar again. I guarantee you.
In a case of that, I mean, I hope, but at the same time, yeah, because that gun is actually so overpowered. If you did get the game early, apparently you get like a prestige unlock token. I got one, but it didn't work. And you could get essentially the bar, and people that have the bar is just so OP. Like, they said they nerfed it, but in reality, their nerf didn't really do anything. It's like saying you nerf the Brecci, but you still go on Black Ops 3 and you see people running around with the Brecci, and it's so overpowered, and there's just no getting around it until you actually nerf that gun to the ground, which they should do. And they should also nerf all the assault rifles, balancing out the rest of the guns, because as we've talked about for the past quite some time, these guns are really overpowered. The bar, you get that later on in the game, but then your last 3 levels, it takes a long time to get those last 3 levels. And then the choice of permanently unlocking the bar or pretty much any other gun doesn't really come to much, because everyone's going to be permanently unlocking the bar, so you're going to always see one of them in a game. 9 out of 10 times, a bar will be in a game.
Yeah, if you watch the kill feed when we play game, I guarantee you won't see anything but the STG, the FG, the bar, the Type 100, or the Karak or M1903. Those are the only guns that are ever going to be used. The rest of the guns are irrelevant, pretty much.
So I think we should move on to zombies, but before we do that, I'm going to disband this party, and I'm going to join you, because I think it's me that's going through the problem. So yeah. So just leave your lobby and I'll try and join you.
So zombies, we're both fairly unexperienced in zombies. I am level like 11, but that's not enough.
I am like level 3, but I mean, we can still talk about it, but without being a high level.
Not being a high level is a very good thing, because that just puts our point across. Because to base it simply, I've played zombies for a very long time. I'm talking before Black Ops 1. I've been playing for a while. I never was good at zombies till around, I don't know, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3. and we've done all the Easter eggs since then. I did every Easter egg in Black Ops 3, every Easter egg in Zombie Chronicles, every Easter egg in bloody Infinite Warfare. I've done the Mephistopheles boss fight. I know what zombies is like, and I just do not like this zombies. That is my opinion. I don't like it. I don't find it entertaining. I don't find it fun. I don't find me wanting to go back and play the Easter egg.
Yeah,
I really don't like it.
See, the zombies, I liked Black Ops 3 zombies. Shadows was okay. The Rising Dark was good. Zetsubo no Shima, that was the worst map ever. Then when Revelations came out, that map was overhyped, but it was good at the same time. Infinite Warfare, as I said, I liked Raven the Redwoods and Shaolin Shuffle. They were pretty good maps. This map, for the starting map, I mean, it's better than, in my opinion, I like the feel of it, like with the old war times and the zombies, and I like the look of certain zombies, and at the same time, the really it's called quote unquote boss zombies, like the flamethrower ones and the horror theme. I like that part of the zombies, but I don't think the gameplay type, like feel of it, is good. I mean, I've only played it a handful of times, so I mean, it's not that much.
Like around 30.
I don't know if I could.
I've been pretty
I don't know if I'd play it till around 30. I don't think I could last. I don't think I could handle it that long, because just I don't know, for this type of zombies game, I don't really like this COD's zombies. Maybe it'll improve in the DLCs, but for now, I don't really like it too much.
I will go into detail mainly from like pretty big zombies players standpoint. I really just, it'll sound really bad coming out, but the zombies Infinity Ward Sledgehammer should just stop. It should not just be it's wearing zombies out 3 times quicker than it should be wearing out. And not only that, but in general, this zombies is just what I thought it was going to be, which it's pretty good that I wasn't expecting something big, because I knew what I was going to get, and I knew it wasn't going to be good, because when I play this zombies, from my standpoint of a zombies player, I like to do high rounds, I like to train, do all that kind of stuff, and training in this is extremely difficult, because you like the whole jump scare thing. You'll get jump scared, it won't even scare you, but it will completely block you off. It'll happen randomly, and you'll get killed by a train because that one jump scare. It's like playing Nocturne Tote in a big area with too many windows, and it's really, really, really clunky, really bad for gameplay. None of the guns in the mystery box are any good. None of the guns in general are any good. The Tesla gun's good, but it's so tedious, because to actually upgrade the Tesla gun, you have to nearly complete the Easter egg, which is absolutely ludicrous. And it's just that kind of stuff that is not good for zombies. And the fact that zombies is fairly unoriginal in this, because the Tesla gun's having 4 upgrades, like the 4 stars, like the 4 bows, all that kind of stuff, like the 4 crossbows, like the 4 bloody laser guns. It's just really wearing zombies out, and zombies is going to get worn out so hard. Treyarch's going to stop doing it. And that really is really bad, because I personally love zombies and I don't want it to die, but it's obviously going to die at the rate it's going. And Sledgehammer Game Zombies, sadly to say, is not good. And that's my opinion.
Yeah, because, I mean, Advanced Warfare Zombies, it was okay. I mean, it's kind of fun, but at the same time, it does not go up to the standards of a Treyarch Zombies, and especially Infinity Ward. What they should have done for Infinite Warfare was Extinction. Should have stuck with that. For Sledgehammer, I mean, zombies is
think their own thing.
Yeah, so Infinity Ward, they did their own thing, Extinction. And COD Ghosts, I mean, wasn't too much of a futuristic COD. And it had Extinction, which was good. And Sledgehammer did was they had zombies for Advanced Warfare. Now,
And Exo Survival.
And Exo Survival, which was good. Exo Survival was good.
Alright.
It was different to zombies, which was good, but what they should have done was make something new for World War II. World War II it's been a while since we've had a proper boots on the ground COD, and World War II is such a big thing. And with the campaign of World War II, what they could have done was maybe implement some sort of extra, like, I don't know, some missions or co-op missions or something that they could have implemented instead of doing zombies, because their take on zombies is not the best.
Can I just say something before we keep going?
Yeah.
Can you just take a moment to realize I found a game on my account? Do you know that the last time I found a game on my account was like 3 days ago?
Yeah, I know, that's true. I guess my internet's just being really trash.
Fucking laughing on the inside. I'm actually really happy. But yeah, go on.
I don't know. I'm done with. I don't know. The zombies for this game is just not that great.
Not good.
I mean,
it's not. It's honestly not. It's really, really repetitive, and a lot of people who don't normally play zombies like it because they don't, go for Easter eggs. They think that the fact that it's horror, it's gritty, it's cool. That, to me, that's not what zombies is. Zombies to me has always been about finding the things in the cracks, finding all the Easter eggs, finding the lore, finding the story, and it's just having overall decent gameplay, having cool wonder weapons, having all that stuff easily accessible to jump into a match and have the match play out differently every time and always have your own objective. But in this game, the objective never changes and it's never rewarding, and that's what I don't like.
Yeah,
that's
and
what kills it.
The thing with that is, I forgot what I was gonna say. It was gonna be something. No, I don't know. I completely forgot now. I went mind blank. The thing with their storyline is, I don't know. They've not been too good with the storyline for zombies. I mean, the storyline for the Advanced Warfare zombies was okay. I mean, you could understand what was going on, but it wasn't something like Treyarch level. Treyarch are good at zombies. I mean, Sledgehammer have just recently been introduced to COD, so can't give them too much for it. But the thing, I don't know. Their zombies is just not as good as it should be.
It's not as much as it was hyped up to be. Now, to be fair, in general, I never hyped this game up. To be honest, I completely gave up on COD after Infinite Warfare. Me and Adam, both of us didn't even pre-order this game.
Yeah.
Well, I was supposed to for Adam, but I didn't. But I never really wanted to in the first place because I never thought it was going to be good. I thought, well, another trash COD. Everyone's hyping it up to be World War II and all that. But, it's not going to be much. But in the end, the game is surprisingly good, and it did surprise me. But at the same time, it's not good because it's World War II. It's not good because it's boots on the ground. It's good because of the fact that they actually managed to, fix a lot of issues in the game. A lot of issues that are in COD, and actually make a change with it being a change that the community enjoys. And that's having a community that's always engaged in the game, always willing to play the game, always online. Having an active community that's positive really makes a difference for the game, and it really makes the game that much more enjoyable.
Yeah, exactly. And if you go on my channel, you can see how I've done a bunch of Easter egg attempts and even completed Easter eggs a lot on the channel. And just the fact that this game was the Easter egg was apparently completed before the game even came out.
Yep.
That's just something that shouldn't technically happen. I mean, it can sometimes.
Even if the thing came out, it shouldn't. If they got the game that early, it shouldn't be that quick to be solved.
yeah, like Infinite Warfare's its zombies was solved pretty quickly, but it wasn't solved before the game
This
came out. It
boss
wasn't
fight.
solved within like a few hours. It had some challenges with it. Like the boss fight was pretty challenging. If you had more,
I
than
don't know
one
if you
player.
remember Black Ops 3 release. It took over a week to do shadows because the
Yeah.
steps were actually really hidden. But in this, it tells you the steps almost. Can I wait? I'm gonna go to the toilet. You talk to the stream for a sec.
Okay. Can you take us out? Oh, okay. So yeah, exactly what he says. The zombies for that game, for Black Ops 3, took quite some time because not only did you need 4 players to actually complete the Easter egg, but to find all of these steps for the Easter egg was quite challenging, and things for especially Gorod Crovey. Now, Aaron Warren Retro, he actually brought up the name again. I completely forgot the name. Gorod Crovey, we did 4 hours of a live stream for that map, and we actually got pretty far with the
I'm back.
sorry, with the what's it called? With the Easter egg for that map. I remember the Gorod Crovey attempt where we went for like 4 hours and we were pretty close.
Yep.
Well, that was like well, our, I don't know, something attempts. Like we did quite a few. That one
Yeah,
took,
God Crover was a big one.
that one took a lot of time. Like within the first few days, there were some steps found, and then we were up to the pipe step, but we didn't know we were up to it at the same time. So it was like confusing, and that's what's good. This one, everything's just there for you. It's pretty much just handed to you on a gold platter, which something that is really disappointing for a Call of Duty Zombies, especially with what we've had.
And
for
I don't know if you remember when, I know you can hate on Infinite Warfare if you want, but when we were doing Morse code in the figuring out them symbols, the Infinite Warfare language.
Yeah,
that was like at the time it was really AIDS, quote unquote, but
yeah.
in my head it was so fun to figure that out, and it was so enjoyable for me.
Yeah, it was
And
so fun that they had just
undeniably
implemented that.
Even though Infinite Warfare is arguably one of the worst Call of Duties of all time, its zombies, even though there's Black Ops 3, had one of the best endings, and it was the most rewarding zombies of all time. It was the most rewarding. Black Ops 3, you beat everything. You get an RK5. This, you beat every Easter egg. You get a super boss fight, and the super boss fight is so hard. And once you actually finally beat that, every single map you go on, man, you get full perks. You get this camo. You get all these animated calling cards. Like every map, you get every perk on the map. When you spawn in, you don't have to spend money. You spawn in with 25k. Every gun you get from the box is double papped. You don't actually have to put the fuse into the pack-a-punch machine. You can double pap anyways.
Yeah, now
It's
we're
really
not saying
good.
that this game it won't. We're not saying that it won't like do anything great. It's only been the release, and it's still got 3 DLCs or 4 DLCs actually. Sorry.
4.
But the thing is that for Shaolin Shuffle, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Shaolin Shuffle, finding the Morse code on a telephone and finding the symbols that were its own thing. So it wasn't any just symbols that were pre-made. It was symbols that they had made.
Yep.
And the fact that you had to find this out yourself, and to especially I
Play
keep going back to
around
this
with
Morse
it.
code.
Figure it out.
The fact that you needed to know it was Morse code to figure it out was really fun, and that really set that definitely was one of the best times when we tried to figure out the Morse code.
Shaolin was an extremely good Easter egg. If you ask anyone that played Infinite Warfare, they will say the same thing. Shaolin, best map, best Easter egg. And Shaolin to this day, out of Infinite Warfare, is my favorite map because its Easter egg was so good. There were so many codes, so many things that the community had to figure out. Instead of just having to go around shooting stuff, you had to actually translate stuff, and it was really, really cool to do, because when everyone's running around and we're all like hyped trying to figure it out, and then when we do figure out, everyone's reactions are so good. We're all like screaming, and it's so fun.
It's so rewarding. The boss fight. I mean, you can say the boss fight was repetitive only because you had to fight that dude quite a few times, but the fact that there was different steps in the boss fight, and you were familiar with the character, so you thought that, oh, you know how to defeat the character of the boss fight. It was actually a lot tougher than it seemed, and it was pretty fun. I mean, I'm not saying that I like the game itself. I'm not saying I hate the game as well. It's just that map was really good, and
yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. That map was really good. The way that you solved the Easter egg for that was really nice. The way that the Easter egg was actually portrayed, and the characters in that map were good. That the chick, I don't remember her name, but she was pretty good. Yeah, Pam. She was alright. The chi thing for that map, so instead of like a bow or instead of a staff, you had chi, which you can upgrade. That was pretty cool because you had different abilities and stuff. In this game,
sword.
Yeah, in this zombies so far, it's just nothing too special. I mean, Shadows of Evil. You had the swords, and you had beast mode, and you had all those sorts of things. And then this game so far, you only have like a Tesla gun, and that's it. Like in Infinite Warfare, you had
4 space guns.
Yeah, you had the space guns. You can get multiple of them as well.
Arcade.
Yeah, the arcade, that was really fun. I loved the arcade for the most part. And like when you died, you play the arcade, which if you played it in Spaceland, you'd be really familiar with. But in this game, it's just you die. You've got a shield, which does play a part. Instead of Jug, you do get a shield, which I do like that, because you can get this shield and you can upgrade it, and it's a bit cheaper, probably the same amount of money as Jug, but
no, it's not. I will tell you that once you buy it a few times, that every time you buy that's going to cost you 10 grand.
Okay, so I take that back.
Great.
You see, the thing on stream is that you find things that are new, and that really sucks. Oh my god! So
but that in general leads us to my point. That whole thing in general, the whole zombies thing in general,
that ruins it, because Jug is pretty much an essential perk in for the most part. Pretty much any COD that we've played, any zombies, you'd usually have Jug, and it'd cost you like what, 2,500.
Yeah, 2,500. That's right.
And yeah, I was gonna say 25K. Holy crap. 2,500, and if you died, you can go back and get it for the same amount of money, like same price. Apparently, it's not the case in this COD, which really freaking sucks.
It goes up every time, yeah. And it's really, the point that it all leads back to is that zombies, when it's done every single year, and it's almost done exactly the same every year, same perks, same game, it's just same, it does get repetitive. It doesn't matter how good it is. I reckon Infinite Warfare would have been amazing if Black Ops 3 never came out. I guarantee you it would have been amazing if Black Ops 3 never came out. But because every year, the bars are raised now for zombies. The bars are constantly raised. When you had a 2-year gap, everyone was desperate, and because they were desperate, we'll take what we got. But now we've got it every year. We just constantly want better. If it's not better, it's not good enough. And
exactly.
That's what we're seeing.
Exactly. Now it comes back to just the fact that Sledgehammer is not that great with zombies, and I mean, the perk system or whatever, I don't even remember how it was in Advanced Warfare, but in Infinite Warfare, the perk system pretty much stayed the same. Now, I personally like the perk system, and I mean, a few new perks or a few perks that were removed is fine. This system in World War II, it's kind of the same. It's pretty much the same, but Jug, like even if they changed it up a lot, but kept a price for Jug would be good. Like a specific price. If it increases every time or just gets to 10,000, that's just insane. Like I know they're trying to make this game a bit hard or trying to make zombies good because it's got a lot to live up to, but just doing that or just making things just exactly the same and you expect it to be like better is just I don't know how you're meant to do that.
It's insane. And that, not to say the game's bad, because zombies never was big until recent years, until Black Ops 3. It was never publicly big. It was all multiplayer, and I personally sort of liked when zombies was a smaller community because it wasn't too much for it to live up to, and every time it did something cool, it was always awesome. And now, because it's so mainstream and so much time's put into zombies, everything is always at some sort of quality that I can't explain. It's like everything is put at the same quality because this is no longer special. This is just expected. This is no longer something that you get, especially once every 3 years. You get this, and now you've waited 3 years. Here's your year, the year you've been waiting for. It's now every year. It's like multiplayer every year, and we just gotta like get lucky and get good zombies now because it's just added a quality of expectancy. Did you see yourself disappear just then?
Yeah. Welcome to the stream, Lethan. I'm 21. I'm so sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. We are from Australia. Also, I didn't see this before, but this ties in to our topic of zombies. Retro asks, what are we hoping for in DLC 1? Now, there is a lot to live up for. Certain DLCs, like The Rising Drac was good. Raven the Redwoods was the first DLC, was it? I think it was.
If we're talking zombies for DLC 1, I'm hoping for more fluent gameplay, for them not to give you not to have 2 Easter eggs. When they had 2 Easter eggs, it's just it's quantity over quality. We need one quality Easter egg that lays out the story very nicely, and then we need good guns, a good wonder weapon that's new and innovative, and then that could completely revive zombies for this game. But from multiplayer standpoint, we need bigger. We don't want the maps that are pretty plain. When you have a map like we just played that has 3 clear lanes, spawn trapping is extremely easy. And same with USS Texas, and same with Fleury de Mont or something, the one that's got that tower in the middle. I don't want everyone to do the same thing. I want everyone to be forced to play aggressively, and when they play aggressively, to be rewarded. I don't want everyone to camp. I hate when people camp. It's really annoying.
Yeah, it is. The maps, don't get me wrong, they're good. Those 3 that you lined up, they need some work. And some new different maps would really be nice. Wait, are you in my game? Yeah, you are. Okay. Some new maps would be good. Obviously, we're going to get some multiplayer maps when the DLC drops, but the thing is that we don't need a map like Gustav Cavern, or as we see here on this map, USS Texas, that those maps pretty much favor one specific set of weapons, and you get spawn trapped so easily, you get spawn camped. It's so easy to get spawn camped and for the spawns not to flip. That's something that's really, really annoying and really takes into account when playing these maps. is the fact that you're pretty much guaranteed to get spawn camped or just instantly, like, decreasing your KD pretty much. And zombies, I mean, the two Easter eggs, definitely, I would rather stick with one great Easter egg than have two decent Easter eggs. Because just having the two endings or two Easter eggs, I mean, sure, you might get some more game time out of it, you might get more money's worth or something. I really prefer a one Easter egg, like just one Easter egg, because if it's a good Easter egg, it's like an ending to a movie. If it's a good ending to the movie, then it's good. You haven't wasted your 2 hours of your time. But if it's a bad ending, or if it just opens up to too many possibilities for there to be one that's gonna be good, then there's no point of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's almost like 1A.
That's pretty much zombie.
Yeah.
That's so good. This podcast is good.
Yeah, I know.
So,
what's it called? Leah.
That wraps up. To wrap up World War II, what I'd like to say is the games are overall very good. The quality of the game's very good. Now, before we finish off with World War II, I want to ask you guys if you guys have any questions.
Yeah, if you have any questions about World War II or a decision you want to make regarding World War II, be sure to comment that now. We will keep a big time span for these questions because I need to go to the toilet really badly and I need to get a drink. So pop your questions in. If Declan sees them, he'll answer them, and I'll be back. But just pop your questions in while before we talk about Destiny 2.
Alright, guys, chuck in your questions. Is there any weapons I'd like to see added? That's actually a really good question. Long story short, yes, if there were to be weapons added, though I wouldn't want them obtained through supply drops. I just want everyone to get them immediately. Sort of like when you get Overwatch characters, if you know what I mean. You'd know Aaron. But the kind of weapons I would want to be added is just a couple more SMGs, a lot more LMGs, a few more snipers. I really like my snipers in this game. A few more shotguns. To be specific, for the shotguns, I'd like more of a sort of, to put it short, like more of a slug shotgun instead of like every other shotgun. Like, the KSG from Black Ops 2. I would like to see that sort of. Sniper rifles, I'd like to see a little more of a ballist. What is the gun called? The one off Black Ops 2. The one that was a DSR's brother, but the one that's fired really fast. I really want to see one of them. Because the Lee Enfield, that just doesn't meet its thing. Like the LMGs, for that, I'd really like to see a really fast-firing LMG like the LSAT, but World War II. But I would really like to see that. It'd be really cool. But when it comes to SMGs, I would really like to see, see like a sort of another version of the Type 100. And I'd like to see the PPSH buffed. It's so hard to explain. I'd like to see so many weapons, but I would know that until I get them.
Okay. So I'm back. A weapon I'd like to be added. I mean,
that was a good one.
Yeah, that one is good. I don't know. I think we've already got weapons like the SVT, the M1, and like.
But I'd mainly want shotguns, snipers, and LMGs because there is very few of them. I'd want a ballista. That's what I'd want. A ballista.
Yeah, I was
would
gonna say that.
absolutely die for one of those.
Wait, watch me open up the supply drop. I don't know what weapon I'd say. I want a ballista type weapon, definitely. But speaking, I mean, a shotgun would be nice. A new shotgun, yeah, actually that would be nice. And an SMG, I mean, I'm pretty much good with the SMGs. I think a buff to most of them would be good, and a nerf to most of the assault rifles would be good. Because, I mean, I could say add in an AK, but I don't think that fits the World War II theme. I'm not too sure, but, you know, an AK wouldn't be too bad. But, yeah, I think I'm fine with the weapons that are in.
To answer that question, the weapons we have, I'm actually really happy with. I would like them to add more to the divisions, to the basic trainings, and to the grenades and lethals. That would be really good. I really want new basic trainings because they're really cool. And when it comes to divisions, I would like more levels to your, like, as you prestige your divisions, I reckon you should unlock another perk, which would be really cool.
Yeah.
And it'd really make it really good.
That is something we should have touched on because I thought if you prestige your division, you'd get an extra perk, but looks like that's not the case. Or maybe you should choose which one you keep for when you prestige. So when you prestige, you pretty much go back to a start. You pretty much go back to the beginning of your division, which if maybe you kept one along the line, and then like say every time you proceed you get the first one and then you don't need to unlock that one. That would have been good, but they need to add something for the divisions. Maybe even adding a weapon to the division, like a new weapon to the divisions, would be good. So maybe like for a sniper, once you get the Kar 98, then maybe like later along the line when you hit a different prestige, you might be able to get a different sniper. So that also adds in, like with a gun that you'd like to see added in, maybe just one with a new division. Maybe with the infantry, maybe when you hit a certain level, you get the AK, because that would be pretty nice to see. I would like to see how an AK would go in this game. But, I mean, it all depends. The game's good how it is. I like how it is. But there are a few things that do definitely need changing.
I don't like how they are trying to themselves.
They're trying to what?
Limit themselves. Like,
yeah,
they are not going out of their boundaries of World War II. They will not. They refuse. That's why the camos are really bad, because they do not want to add any cool camos like dark matter or anything, because they don't think it matches World War II. I definitely agree with the guns and stuff. I don't want to see laser guns and stuff, but like when it comes to World War II, if you put a limit on that, it just limits the game's capabilities. I don't think the look of the game should tell what the game is, and that's just an opinion.
Yeah, that is actually a very good point. So if they don't have to add laser guns, or they don't have to add a dark matter. I'm not saying they do, but if they're limiting themselves or capping them just to what they're capping themselves at World War II, then the like future content, like if they're adding in any guns, that really limits themselves, which limits us, because then that just means, like, what are they going to add for DLCs? Are they going, like, for supply drop guns, if they add supply drop guns, what are they going to do? Are they just going to keep it to what it already is, which would be a pretty slim line of weapons? But like limiting themselves to a certain era, I mean, it's good, but like they should at least expand it a tiny bit, because that
they shouldn't be forced to stick to their limit.
Yeah, which that's not really something they should. Yeah, exactly. They shouldn't be forced to stick to their limit. They should be able to expand, but I don't know, man. It's just what it is. If they added final stand mode, would you play it? Probably not.
What's Final Stand mode?
I don't know. I think it's like when you die, you get a chance to get revived or something. I don't know. I think that's what it is. I mean, could probably reiterate on that a bit, Aaron, but I don't know. I probably won't play it. I don't see me playing that.
Did you know this is one of the scum things that they did? That they had more maps, but they took them out and put them in the DLCs, and they had more game modes, like infected and party game modes like that.
This game, World War II.
Yeah, the beta was up for 10 minutes, like, a couple weeks ago, and there was infected, all these party game modes, and there was like 12 maps.
Really? Okay, that's okay, I didn't know that.
That's
really
pretty scum.
That is a pretty scum move. I mean, I do take quality over quantity, but I think those maps might have been a bit better than the 3 that we mentioned. So, you know, they could have had some sort of testing thing, because I know one of the games I played recently, I'll try and remember the name, but they added a test server mode where it's like you pretty much, or a test client. I don't exactly remember which game it was, because I know there's a few that have them, but you can test certain maps, and then they'd select a few people to take a vote on them and see which ones should stay or be replaced. So if, say, for you COD YouTubers which get the game early, what they should have done was put some COD YouTubers in these private alpha, private beta stages, and tested some of the maps, seen what they had liked. You know, maybe they did that, we don't know, but that's what they should do, and they should have like a test like server thing, so you can test future maps or test current changes or something like that. I think that's what they should do.
Yeah, but
yeah.
All that aside, is Aaron got a question?
He said it's pretty much like survival. He said, would you play it?
Oh well, nah, wouldn't play it. But either
I
way,
wouldn't play it.
All that aside, let's move on to Destiny 2. It's gonna be an interesting one for you, Aaron. To start off, let's just give Destiny 2 a general summary, alright? At the current, the game is dead.
Yes, I can definitely vouch for that. It is so true.
And it died very, very quickly. Unbelievably quick. And to put Destiny 2 on point to on comparison, Destiny 2, it's very, very unreplayable. To put that on.
I can definitely say I was pretty hyped for Destiny 2. The beta was limited, very limited. You couldn't do pretty much do like nothing, okay? The beta was not really anything. It was just a very, very small taste. It's like a pea on a massive plate, pretty much. And then the game, when it came out, I mean, it's still limiting, but you could do a lot more in it. You can at least play the game, but when you hit max level, or when you get to that point of where, you know, you can't get any higher level, or like you've done everything in the game, and there's just there's just nothing to do. Even if just trying to go weapon collecting, I don't think there's a point in doing that. So currently the game is pretty dead. I mean, people thought like, oh, bringing it to PC will revive the game. It didn't revive the game. It pretty much just brought new players on PC to play the game. it didn't revive the game because it was dead on console a long time ago. And the only way to revive that pretty much is by adding new content or fixing a few things. Definitely adding content would 100%.
And that
Probably bring the
adding
game
content
back.
we have to talk about later because
Yeah.
Bungie and adding content.
Yeah, we definitely will talk about that later. But I think the current state of it is dead. It is pretty much dead. You can play it on PC, but if you've got it on console and you've already got it on PC, there's just no point of playing it. It's repetitive. You have to. I don't know. I want to get into this story of it, but I don't know if you've got anything else to say about the current, like, I don't know, just overall state of it. But I think it's definitely 100% dead.
The worst thing, in my opinion, that Destiny in general does is it purposely makes one weapon more powerful than the other, and that leads to something called the meta. And the meta is stupid. When someone can bloody spend all their day grinding for one weapon, which obviously is rewarding, but everyone else gets dominated, absolutely dominated, just because you have the sunshot and I don't. You know, it's just like it's really dumb, and especially because a lot of it is RNG in this game. The one thing that I really liked about Destiny 1 was actually grinding, and in this, I've noticed every exotic quest goes for a good hour. And in Destiny 1, I spent weeks on exotic quests. Remember the Touch of Malice?
Yeah.
I don't even think you have that to this day.
I don't have that. It's freaking insane. And the fact with making a weapon purposely more overpowered than another weapon is if you have something like a scout rifle, for instance. This one really kind of annoys me. So if you have a scout rifle that you've had throughout the whole game and you think it's good, and I go ahead and spend an hour or two of my time doing a quest for a gun, a MIDA, for instance, that gun is just it's one of the most overpowered weapons in Destiny 2. It is so good for PvP. It's not as good for PvE, but you could still use it. And it pretty much dominates every weapon in PvP. And that weapon, like, you can get within, like, a good 2 hours, but if you don't know how to get it, then you're stuck, pretty much. You're stuck in a ditch. And there are very few weapons that can match that. And the thing that they've done is they've purposely made the MIDA a more overpowered scout rifle. And the fact that they've done this is just really stupid because it just takes the fun out of, you know, having multiple weapons that can match up to each other and then grinding for different weapons to see which one's better. It takes the fun out of that. Having the MIDA is just, I don't know, man. It really gets on my nerves, that weapon.
The game gets on my nerves. The game is just so overhyped. It's like, how do I explain this? It's the exact same thing that COD Zombies did. I know how to explain it. It ditches its favorable community, the community that loved it so much, and it just targets a new audience, a new wider audience that isn't going to play the game as much, but is going to enjoy the game for a little while because they don't play that much. They'll say, "Oh, this game looks cool," and because this has horror, or this game has good graphics, it's in the middle of space. Or we'll play it instead of the players that genuinely actually enjoyed the gameplay and stuck with the company through its worst times, especially with Destiny 1, and they just go over and screw you over because they want more money. That's pretty much what they did.
Yeah, and the thing is, with Destiny 2, they said that we don't just want to make it for veteran players, we want to make it for the newcomers, so the game is friendly to the new audience, which is, I mean, I'm not saying it's really bad, but at the same time, it actually really is, because it takes the fun out of it and the difficulty out of the game because of just, you know, new people. Now, I'm not saying that it's new people, like, it's their fault. It's the developer's fault for trying to make the game easy for anyone. Like, I played Destiny 1, like, I started it when it came out, didn't like it. Then I played it in year 3. Now, I had a lot to do. Now, by no means was that game easy, which is what they've tried to do with Destiny 2. They've tried to make the game easy for anyone to play. Now, I mean, I was playing COD a lot. I played a lot of, like, first-person shooters, so I was, I thought I was relatively good at the what's it called? The genre. But Destiny, that game was tough. Like, the raids were pretty tough. And for this game, they said that the raid is going to be newcomer friendly, and the raid is not that good.
And that it
I mean,
is. Like,
yeah,
it is so easy. It is so
Yes.
easy.
It is very
It's
easy. You
just
can do it so many
ridiculous.
times. It's just like you can go back and do the Destiny 1 raids as many times as you want. It just takes a lot longer than this Destiny 2 raid. This Destiny 2 raid is very newcomer, I guess,
Easy.
friendly, but it's just not as fun. And if you're a newcomer and you want fun and a challenging game, a challenging raid experience, that's not what Destiny 2 is giving you.
And I remember when Adam first got onto Destiny 1 at year 3, and he was... Wait, can we leave? I got to rest platter up. He was very unmotivated at first because he did have a lot of work to do, like at least 50 hours worth of work to do. And when he finally got to the end of that, it was one of the most satisfying things you can ever do. Once he finishes, gets his exotics, gets his max level, it was a satisfying thing for anyone. But this new game, anyone can hit 305. You don't have to do anything special to get it. You don't have to do a raid to get it. You don't have to do any of that. You just got to play the game and you'll get it.
Exactly.
And that's ridiculous.
Where are you? I want to see you open your supply drop.
I got black screen. I might have to restart.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. I had to spend a long time getting to max light, okay? Now, this game, Destiny 2, doesn't have too much, like, to do, obviously, because the game has just, like, it hasn't got any DLCs, but, I mean, if I was to go through Destiny 1 and play the Destiny 1 story and the Destiny 1 raids with no DLC, okay, it was still fun and still challenging, but, like, the thing that kept me going was that by the end of it, even if I started in year 1, okay, by the end of it, it'd still be more rewarding than it is in this game, because in this game you can do your exotic quest, leave it for a bit, get a few levels up, pick up your gun, and then you're just way ahead of like everyone else. Like, if you leave for a few levels, you're going come back, it's like 10 levels higher than everything else, and it's just way more like overpowered and just takes a lot of grinding and a lot of fun out of the game, which I really don't like for Destiny 1. I mean 2, sorry. Yep.
Yeah, it's just it leads back to the point of they're just ditching us Destiny 1 players. But what makes things worse is that when Bungie releases DLC, Bungie screws over anyone that did Seasons Pass, didn't buy the actual DLC. Say goodbye to Crucible, because you'll never be able to play that again once this DLC comes out. Say goodbye to almost everything but the story, because you're not going to be able to play it till you buy this DLC that costs you $50.
And I can definitely say this because when I got the game, I didn't know that I had to get the DLCs in order to play the game. COD, you don't have to get the DLCs in order to play the game. You can still play all your multiplayer maps, just not the DLC maps. Play zombies, just not the DLC zombies. And you can play the campaign and there's no DLC. Destiny 1, I didn't know that. I got the game, found out I had to get I had to buy all the DLCs. I had to buy pretty much all the DLC. Yeah, I had to buy all the DLCs in order to play the base, in order to play the game, in order to do anything. So pretty much without Declan or without Aaron, I wouldn't have been able to play the game. Oh, this was pure trash. I wouldn't have been able to actually play the game, but like it's just the fact that they screw over people that don't have the DLCs like that. It's really, really bad for the game. And if they go this path for Destiny 2, I can tell you, it not only is it just a money making scheme, it's just really bad for the company's reputation.
Yeah, it looks really bad on them.
And with the DLCs, Aaron here, he has a pretty good question. He says, for DLC 1 in Destiny 2, what are you hoping for? Like challenges of elders, raid, bug fixes, or just weapon changes? He's like, what do you
To be honest,
want for it?
I don't know what I want, to be honest, because if I'm being honest with you, I don't think that DLC 1, and just remember what my opinion was initially on World War II, will bring me back to Destiny 2. I don't think it will.
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes out, I'll play it. Just if it releases story missions that are going to be too easy, like I'll say this later on, but if they're going to bring story missions that are too easy, going to bring raids that are too easy, raids that aren't good, raids that aren't intuitive or fun, then it's not going to revive the game or bring players back to the game or bring newcomers saying, oh, I need to buy the game and buy the DLCs because they're good. It's just, I hope for DLC 1, they do something smart and do something good that will bring people back to the game. I hope they don't do something that they think is going to make people want to buy the DLCs because you have to buy the DLCs. I hope they make people want to buy the DLCs because they're good. Like with COD, you don't have to buy the DLCs. You might want to buy a specific DLC because the map might be good. For like Black Ops 3, I might not have had Season Pass, so I might want to buy the second DLC map because that might have been really good. And I hope that's what they do for Destiny 2. I hope they don't go the route of just, you have to buy the DLCs. I think
hope they will,
do that.
though. The thing is, though, because the initial game was in itself a marketing scheme for people to buy the game. You might not have realized that, but the game they predicted wouldn't sell that well, and they did a marketing scheme. I don't know if you remember when Destiny 2 came out, you had to wait 4 weeks for the trials and the raid and shit, right? You know why?
Yeah.
So they could stack up sales in that 4 weeks, because even if people didn't like the initial game, all the YouTubers and shit, they would be like, hey, you don't like it now, but even if you don't like it now, we've got more coming next week. And they'll say that for 4 weeks, and they'll stack sales in those 4 weeks because people will see the game and they'll be like, what? This is the game, and there's even more. And people will not review the game entirely until 4 weeks are up. So they would have gameplay coming out consistently for 4 weeks without a review, and that would literally stack their sales up, and that's how they sold Destiny 2.
Yeah, that's, again, what we were not hoping for. We were hoping to get, like, trials within the first week or within the first 2 weeks of the release of the game, but we didn't end up getting that, as you said, till like around 4 weeks or so later. And that really did annoy us because most of us had done everything we could, pretty much completed everything within those weeks, and then just trials was just an added bonus of playing it, which was not fun at all. And trials is just, the wait for 4 weeks was not worth it. It was just really trash.
To put Destiny 2 simply, it's more of a money grab than anything else.
Yeah, it's more of it's more of the company making money than you like using your money wisely on the game and just having fun. Something I forgot to put on my weapon was the Kar 98K because I got that.
Did you?
Mm-hmm. But with the weapons in Destiny, I mean, can't really say much
They're all bad.
because
And
yeah,
then
pretty
the
much
ones
they're all
that aren't
bad
are just unbalanced.
and overpowered.
But that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much Destiny 2 in a nutshell. I think we pretty much covered that really well.
But in saying that, that's the podcast.
Yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, be sure to leave a like. Thank you for the stream.
And please send us suggestions for next podcast.
Yeah, please comment some suggestions in the stream or comment them on any a recent video of mine or email me about them. Pretty sure I have my email on my about page. Message me on PlayStation. I've got that linked. I've got my PlayStation in the description below. So go ahead and message me there, or just comment down below any suggestions on what we should do next. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next stream.